Hi, welcome to my first, maybe only, tutorial on how to use Blender to create content for The Sims 4. For this, you will need two things on top of The Sims 4. So you need Sims Ripper, which is what I have open right now, and Blender. I use a combination of Blender 4.0 and 4.5. I will have everything linked below in the description, but without further ado, let's get into it. So the first step, which I'm not going to show, is actually dressing your sim in game. Make sure you save and whatnot so the outfit is there. And then you're going to open up Sims Ripper. You will get like a pop-up that shows up. Click OK, and then this will come up. And go to select, and then you'll find your save. Don't think it'll show on this, it's showing on the screen, but click your save you want, and then it'll bring everyone up. To narrow it down, you click off all the ones you don't want, and then go find who you do want. For this, I'm going to use Lorelei from one of my main pages. So now you're just going to let this open up, and I'll be back when it is fully open. Okay, once you have it open with your sim and the outfit you want, you can, if it's not the outfit you want, figure out which one it is. I'm just going to use this one. Um, and I don't remember how it's set here, but what I do is I use the solid and glass meshes and texture. Make sure clean DA mesh that's clicked. And then I believe it's the only thing you have to change. But once you change it, it'll typically stay the same. You can use some of these other ones, but I prefer this one. Then you're going to click DA, and then it'll pop up and you go save that wherever you want it saved. I have a whole separate folder that I save mine in, but you do whatever works best for you. Okay, so once you have everything done in Sims 4 Ripper, you open up Blender. For this, I'm using 4.0. Again, it'll all be linked. To start, I like to just delete everything in the scene. But to do that, you can click X. And then once that's all done, you go to File, Import, and then the one that has the DAE. Click that, and then you're going to go find the sim you want, and just double click them, and it'll bring them up. Right now, it is gray. Click this, it'll show up in color. This one is actually what it is if you rendered something right now, which we're not going to do right now because we don't have lighting or anything. So again, I delete this if it'll let me click on it. That's fine. I'm going to leave it for now. I like to rename it just so I know. And then you're going to go to here because right now you can see it's all like there's lines. So you can do this for both. I find you only have to do it for the glass. So you click on it, go to material, scroll down to the settings, switch both to alpha hashed. If that's pronounced, it's probably pronounced wrong, but click that one for both. And we're not done yet because you can see it's still like that. So you can click on this part and then go down to the shader editor, and this part will come up. Some people do this part differently, I believe. This is how I do it. I connect this color to the tint in specular, go add, shader, mix shader, drop that in the middle, drag that one down, move this one over, and go add again, shader, and then the transparent. And then drag that one there. And then when you go back, she looks normal. I totally forgot to mention at the start, you will also be needing Sims 4 Studios for posing. I do not believe there's any other way you can do this. So I will also link this in the description. So for Sims 4 Studios, what you're going to do is once you have your pose pack downloaded, you're going to click on My Projects and then click on your pose pack and it'll open up. I'm going to be right back and I'll come back when it's all open. Okay, for those that don't know how Sims 4 Studios work, this part is pretty simple. So once you have your pose pack open, you're going to go to Clips and then pick whichever pose you want. I'm gonna pick the second one. Make sure you have the age you want. Male and female, typically I just always stick with female. It doesn't seem to be a huge difference, but if you want, switch it to male. But the main one is if you're using a child's pose, make sure you switch to child, or it'll look funny. You're gonna click export and then save it. I save mine to my download just because it's easiest to locate again and delete after.
This video, the audio cut out, so you get a voice recording. So once you have it in Blender, you can either open it by double clicking on the file or dragging it into a new tab, and it'll open up. Your Blender, depending on how you have Sims 4 Studio set up, might not look exactly like this. Like the rig might be all grayed out. It's totally fine. It'll still work the exact same. To copy the pose, what you're going to do is hit A. You'll see everything glow, including the stuff on the side. And then you're going to hit Control C to copy it. Then we're going to go back into Blender with our sim and apply the pose.
Okay, now that we're back with our sim, make sure you have them clicked. You're going to go over here to where it says Object Mode, click down on that, and go to Pose Mode. This is where you hit Control V, and your sim will pose. Then make sure you go back to Object Mode or else you won't really be able to move anything around. Now we're going to go into setting up for pictures. The first thing I'm going to do is go over the settings that I use. Other people use different ones. You can use whatever one fit best, like you think work best for you. So I switched to cycles. I think it gives more realistic looking pictures, but depending on the scene, sometimes using the other option, like this one, is better. So I switched. Oh, sorry, my Blender is bugging out right now. Okay, do one here. This is new settings. I used to do something else, but I find that this works quickest and it looks good. If you want to do higher, but you don't want it to take forever, you can switch this. I don't, because it typically takes like 5 to 10 minutes a picture. But yeah, I also make sure I have tiling off, because then it renders in like sections instead of the whole picture as one. Then the next, you can wait till you have your camera in, or you can do it now, like I'm going to. I switch this to 3000. Again, this just makes for a better quality picture, I find. And I've also been told that through the many people I've talked to while doing this. Now that we have our settings, I'm going to get into setting up for a picture. I'm not going to use a scene in this tutorial. Might go over it in a different one if people want. But for now, we're just going to stick to like adding a backdrop in ourselves. To add in a backdrop, again, it's very important that you're in object mode or you won't be able to add anything. Go to Add, Mesh, Plane, and then you can play around with it and rotate it, move it around. You can also use the arrows and move things around. Make it bigger. This one makes it bigger. I guess I should go over that. This one rotates it. This one moves it. Then you can either do the same step again, or I'm just going to hit Control V or Control C and then Control V. Just because it makes things so much easier. And just like that, you got a little setup going. So next thing is lighting, because currently it's dark. You won't be able to see anything. So I like, same thing, go to Add, go down to Light. I use Area. It's what I found to be the best. Or not. Uh, Okay. Blender is weird. Sometimes your arrows will work, sometimes they won't work. Mine are very hit and miss with when they'll work. Hence why I typically like to just use the side. So you can play around with it. I typically like to do that. And then I'll set it to change how intense the light is. Go down to data. Switch it. I'm gonna do 50. I might switch it. For now I'm gonna go with 50. Then the last thing is obviously the camera. Just go down here, camera. To get into the camera mode, go to hit 0. And then I personally like to just move it around like this. I start at 0. And then move it from here. Just because I find it's easier than guessing where it is. So this is where you like it. This will not like the light. You won't be able to see it when you take a picture. I like to go, when I'm doing it like this, I switch it back to Eve. Just to check how it is. Because Cycles is wonky.
Well, Cycles is so wonky, it messed up my audio again. So as you can see, Cycles is just pixely and it's harder to see things as you move around. It's just because that's how it is. But as you can see, I am switching my lighting because I am not happy with it up to, I believe, 70 or 75. And then, yeah, just switch back to the other mode, and then you're ready to actually render your image. So you hit render and then render image, and you are good to go.
And just like that, you have your completed picture. Again, a lot of Blender, it's a lot of trial and error, just testing different things out, figuring out what works for you. Because what works for you might be completely different for someone else. So you don't have to use the same things as me. Totally change things out how you want. But now, last thing, how to save the picture. Go to image, save as, and then save it wherever you want. Also know at the start, I mentioned I use 2 kinds of Blender. So you can use just 4.0. It's totally fine, obviously. I just did. I use 4.5 more so when I'm using scenes, just because it's more recent. And some of the scenes are made with more recent blenders. And if you try to import it into an older version, it may not work. But again, I'm not going over that in this tutorial. Go over it in another one if people want. But other than that, that's the end of this very simple tutorial. Sorry if I did not explain something properly. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment or message me on Instagram at Lorelei_dance_style or on any of my other pages. But for now, that's it. Hope you enjoyed and have fun in Blender.